Hello， 大家好，我是浪骑文化的一粉。那我们今天很开心来到北京。那我们今天来到户外的总部。那在我们旁边的是我们的安总，可以跟我们介绍一下。
Hello， 大家好，我是体坛传媒户外 Rouleur 杂志的安然。
那我都想问一下，因为可能国内跟国外其实可能那个骑行氛围，我们国内会比较晚才过期嘛。那我们把 Luna 带入到国内这个地区，其实这个文化上面，你觉得会不会是一个挑战？
我觉得从我们国内来讲，其实我们的骑行文化其实还是在一个我们是一个自行车大国，但是实际上我们在这个骑行文化打造上跟国际上面还是有一些差距。我们更多的像我们小时候看到大街上这个自行车基本上是通勤为主，但是到国外经常我们在早上起来去公园跑步啊，什么在旁边这一圈一圈的这个骑行的这些团队啊，就感觉他们就是是一项运动或者是他们生活的一部分吧，就感觉并不是为了一个去工作上班，当然这可能也是其中的一个点，但是我觉得更多他们是从这个运动当中去获得更多的这种体验和感受，所以我觉得也是借着这次机会，我们把这个Rouleur引进到中国，然后希望通过我们的内容的传播，然后更多的这个我们中国的骑行爱好者去了解到我们国外的因为这个骑行运动发展有上百年的历史了嘛，这跟我们还是有一些不一样的地方。国外是一个什么样子的情况？我们希望我们国内的一些骑行运动爱好者能够更多的去了解这样呢对他们将来的这个他们对这项运动的认识可能会有一个不一样的一个引导。
我是 Jade Rouleur China Country Manager， 主要负责 Rouleur 杂志在中国区的大部分业务。
那其实，在 Luna 选入就是进来中国的时候，我们有发现，可能在热潮是在前几年，那刚好过了这个热潮进来，其实你觉得会不会是一个真的特别难的挑战？
加入公司已经现在快4年了，所以我们一直在做一些中文内容的尝试。然后，但是我们也相信，就是所谓浪潮，它只不过是筛选出来了真正的爱好者，然后经过这一批的筛选，还是会有更多的人认识到骑行，然后加入进来。所以你如果再放到10年以后来看，它整体的用户基数还是会要比10年前会要更高的。所以我们并不觉得这是一个所谓的低谷或者怎么样，因为他愿意去看Rouleur，愿意去坐下来读你文章的人，他永远都会在的。我觉得作为纸媒来说，就是在存在什么更加的低谷或者是热潮，就是愿意读你们文章的人，就是永远就是都会在，它只会增加，然后它不会就是消失不见的。对。
I don't think it's rebellion at all. I think it's about understanding that the environment has changed. Printed magazines worked when companies distributed 100,000 copies per country in every newsstand, in every airport, and advertising was almost 90% of the income of those publications. So you had a product that would cost £2 to $1 to produce. It doesn't matter the currency, one to produce. So you produce something whereby your main customer was always the advertiser. That also impacted the editorial integrity because it was really who was funding that. And I think what's really important for us is that we never ever, even when we do sponsor content, and brands pay us to produce content because we need to fly to visit a company, we need to pay a photographer, we need to produce a video. We never give the brand or the editorial right over the content. We don't really review bike to say this is better than this is worse, because this is not what we do. What we do is we give a voice to those organizations in a well-curated way. We tease them, but whatever we write is our voice, and we never give it to the brands that even pay for that content. Then we publish it, and people really respect that. And that's why our publication now is not in newsstand, almost nowhere. People are members and subscribers, and the members have this continuous engagement where every 6 weeks they get this coffee table publication, which is beautiful to read. Everyone wants to smell it. I don't know why. It goes into shops, and the shop owner looks at what are the latest brands. I want to read the story of that new frame builder or that new helmet that was produced. But then what we do is we have an app with the HTML5 version of that magazine. that you can read on your iPad, on your train, on the airport, that has an audio version of the same, so that if you consume content by going to work, you look at it and it looks nice, but you don't want to sit for 20 minutes to read a 10 pages article. And some of that media, if you go to visit a factory and you take an hour video, and if you do a podcast for an hour, and if you take 200 pictures, doesn't fit the magazine. And I think it's a shame. Many times we have so much content, and so digital is a complement of that experience that allows us to channel the funnel of we find people, they read our social media channel, they read our newsletter, they come on our website, they become subscribers digitally, they subscribe in print if they want to, and then they follow, and then sometimes they're prompted, even by QR code in the magazine, to go to a platform that has a lot more content around the brand. I think what's really important is to micro-target audiences, and people are obsessed about Pogacar. They don't ride the bike, they want to read about him. Some people are obsessed about the Paris-Roubaix and the heritage of that. They want to read everything about Paris-Roubaix. Some people are obsessed about the brand. They want to know everything about the brand. And in print, you cannot look at that. And so sometimes print brings you back to that moment, and then you click and you want to go to a portal that says, let me now wander around that universe and lose myself in a curated environment instead of scrolling on social media. And the next post is, if you're 50 years old, is Viagra, or is a young influencer, or is a real estate agent that wants to sell you a new house for retirement. We want ideally to have people that are obsessed about cycling to find a home to say this is everything about cycling, instead of finding it in between a lot of other distractions.
Unforgettable.
Inspiring. Worth it. Amazing. Mega. Energy. Unique.
Fantastic.
Epic.